certain historical mysteries may never be answered. Sometimes this is because the appropriate excavated material has been lost or an archaeological site has been destroyed. Other times, it is because fresh evidence is unlikely to emerge or the remaining data is too ambiguous to lead researchers to a conclusion. The absence of explanations simply add to the mystery of these things. In today's video, we are going to discuss some of the mysterious things that science is unable to explain even today. Number 5. Where is Alexander the Great buried? By the age of 32, Alexander the Great had surged through Asia, conquering a realm stretching from the Balkans to India and ruled over the largest empire in ancient history. Then, in 323 BC, he died and his kingdom crumbled in an instant. A sickness killed the monarch of Babylon, that is now in Iraq. According to historical context, one of his generals transported his body back to ancient Egypt 2 years later, but his body was kept in Memphis while a tomb was erected for him in Alexandria. However, no one knows where the famous mausoleum is. Some believe it had gone beneath the sea since it was erected in the palace that is now underwater. If that is the case, it might have been destroyed by millennia of both human and environmental forces. Researchers have told, even if it were discovered, there would most certainly be few distinguishing traces confirming the tomb belonged to the ancient world's greatest king. Number 4. Was there a real King Arthur? The Robin Enon, King Arthur statue, Gallus, situated on a rocky headland on Cornwall's Atlantic coast. Over the course of more than 1,000 years, the story of King Arthur has been recounted and repeated several times. Camelot, the Knight of the Round Table, Merlin, and the sword Excalibur, all are well-known characters from the Arthurian legends. If King Arthur actually exists, the reality was probably less fantastic. The earliest known stories, dating from the 9th century, relate of a commander, perhaps not even a monarch, who fought multiple wars against the Saxons. Even the veracity of these narratives is questionable. There are several places in Britain associated with King Arthur stories, such as Tintagel and Seaside, that was purportedly King Arthur's residence. However, investigations have not verified whether King actually resided there or even existed. Finally, it is doubtful that researchers will ever know for certain whether King Arthur existed or was simply a mythical character. Number 3. Where is the tomb of Cleopatra? Cleopatra receives the Egyptian throne from Caesar. According to ancient resources, following their deaths in 30 BC, Cleopatra VII and her lover Mark Antony were buried together in a tomb. Plutarch described the tomb as a lofty and beautiful monument holding valuables made of gold, silver, emeralds, pearls, ebony, and ivory. It was placed near a temple dedicated to Isis, an Egyptian deity. The tomb's exact location is unknown. Egypt's former antiquities minister, Zahi Hawass, conducted excavations at Teposiris Magna, a site near Alexandria, in 2010. This houses a number of tombs dating from the reign of Cleopatra VII in Egypt, while numerous exciting archaeological finds were uncovered. Cleopatra VII tomb was not one of them, according to Hawass. In a series of news releases, archaeologists have remarked that even if Cleopatra's tomb survives to this day, it may have been brutally robbed. Number 2. Was Cesarean in fact Caesar's son? Egyptian hieroglyphics and inscriptions from the Temple of Hathor depicting Cleopatra and her son Cesarean on the south wall of the Temple of Hathor at Dendera, Egypt, we discover a sunk belief of Cleopatra and her son Caesarion. Cleopatra VII gave birth to Caesarion, whom she claimed was Julius Caesar's son, in 47 BC. In 44 BC, Cleopatra appointed Caesarion as so-called ruler of Egypt, and surviving art represents mother and son as co-rulers. However, it is unclear if the infant was genuinely Caesar's son. Caesar never recognized the child as his own. One of the Caesar's companions even authored a booklet disputing the Caesarion was Caesar's son. Cleopatra VII committed herself when she and Mark Antony were beaten by Octavian in 30 BC, and Caesarion was slain not long thereafter, according to Egyptian hieroglyphics and inscriptions. With no remaining bonds of Julius Caesar or Caesarion, researchers are unlikely to ever be able to ascertain with confidence whether Caesar was indeed Caesarion's father. Number 1. Fate of the Ark of the Covenant. A computerized representation of the Ark of the Covenant. The Bible has precise description of this sacred treasure, but it was lost millennia ago and is unlikely to be found. A Babylonian army led by King Nebuchadnezzar II attacked Jerusalem in 587 BC, plundering the city and demolishing the first temple, a temple used by the Jewish people to worship God Almighty. The Ark of the Covenant, which held tablets documenting the Ten Commandments, was housed in the first temple. The fate of the Ark remains unknown. The Ark's fate is unknown. According to ancient reports, the Ark was either brought back to Babylon or buried before the city was conquered. It is also conceivable that the Ark was destroyed during the sacking of the city. In any case, the location of the Ark remains uncertain since the Ark's departure. Many myths and legends have been sprung regarding its destiny. According to one narrative, the Ark finally made its way to Ethiopia, where it is still maintained. According to another legend, the Ark was divinely hidden and would not be revealed until a Messiah appears.